Egypt has been living in successive transitional periods since January 2011. So now we want to put an end to that and enter into a stable period with elected institutions. The beginning is the Constitution.
One of the major objections that has emerged to the Constitution is that it still keeps the provision for civilians being brought before military trials. To many people, this just isn't democratic.
The cases where civilians will be tried before those courts were specifically mentioned. I am, like many others, like the majority of us, in the Committee of 50 and beyond, we are against trying civilians before military courts. But in those specific cases, the three major cases that have been mentioned in this article have taken into consideration the situation, the current situation, the actual situation, the events in the country that have to be dealt with in a specific way.
You have said that this Constitution will promote a modern and democratic country, but how can that be when the Minister of Defence is not going to be chosen by the President, it's going to be chosen by the Army?
Yes, it will be. The names will be offered, will be presented by the High Command for 8 years, for 2 presidential terms. It's not as a matter of principle, but as a matter of necessity under the present circumstances.
But do you accept that there is disappointment from some who believe that this document is not delivering on the revolution of 2011?
Yes, I understand that there are people who oppose the Constitution or who expressed their disapproval of this or that article. But there are many who say, all right, but the Constitution in its totality is an acceptable is a good document, acceptable one, and we are going to vote for it. But I cannot really say that it will be 100%. There is no 100% in democracy anyway.
Do you looking at the current trends in Egypt, we're now having mass arrests of demonstrators, we're having liberals being given hard labour for attending protests, foreign journalists are being detained. Can you really say that Egypt is on a path to democracy?
I can say that once the Constitution is approved, there will be a different situation altogether.
So will all of this stop? Will the arrests stop? Will the hard labour sentences stop?
I hope so. I hope so. It will be it will be referred to the judiciary, to the courts, bearing in mind what the Constitution stipulates about the freedoms, about liberties, about the guarantees, about basic rights, human rights. The Constitution guarantees all that. So I believe on the 16th of January, it will be a different era.